Say this, there will be opposition to God's purposes in my life. He told him to go to the other side. That was his purpose. Go to the other side. And they were immediately met with opposition. And it just staggers me because you realize that Peter, this is his hometown. This is his home region. He didn't know how to navigate the sea in Capernaum. He's from the region. He grew up on the water. Peter, probably 5 years old, out there with his dad baiting hooks. He probably knew everything there was to know about that sea. James and John, the same thing. They knew everything there was to know. Yet somehow they couldn't do it because this wasn't a natural purpose. This was a divine command, and opposition comes to meet the divine command. Always. If you think the devil's going to give you a clear run at it, you're wrong. People get married and they're like, we get married and you think, it's going to be one eternal date night. It's an eternal date night. Not really. So there's opposition outside. So they were facing opposition from the outside, and they were facing opposition from within. You know how Jesus works? He sticks you right up against your fear. Right up against it. You fear people? Well, your destiny, your purpose, your assignment, your mandate's on the other side of people. You ain't getting there if you won't overcome that fear. I don't believe that. Look at your life. Look at your life. Why is it the same? It is always directly related to your fear. Their fear at this point was the water. The ancient world viewed the water as chaos, unmasterable. No one can master the waves. No one can master the sea. All forms of evil are around the sea. The ocean had all this mystical things. That's why they immediately said, it's a ghost. Right? No one can master the sea. Well, Jesus can master the sea. He can master the waves. God sends you into the area that you're most concerned about. This is how we become what we're supposed to become. You don't think David was afraid to face Goliath? Wouldn't you? I don't know anybody in his right mind that would look at something described as Goliath and not be afraid. How about the priests being commanded to go into the water? This is another one. When they're crossing the Jordan, not the Red Sea, but they're going into the Promised Land. The river is raging. It's like whitewater rapids. And the Lord says, take the Kohens, the priestly caste that's supposed to carry the ark, those guys, and tell them to walk down into the water. That would not be a good day to be a Kohen, right? You'd be like, are you serious? You're going to make us walk down into the water? Or better yet, how about when he puts the worshipers out in front of the army? We're going to fight a major battle, and here's the plan. I need the tuba, the piano, the electric guitar. We're going to amplify this thing. We're going to push this out there, and all the worshipers are going to go in front of it. They had to confront their fear. But don't be afraid, the battle's the Lord's. Oh, that's very comforting, right? How about, here's another one. How about Gideon? It's one of my favorites. We got a stick and a lantern, okay? The enemy army's down there. They're armed to the teeth. But don't worry, the Lord has told me what to do. We're going to take this stick and we're going to take this lantern. Yeah, right? And we're going to break it, and we're going to yell the sword of the Lord in Gideon, and we're going to beat them. It'd be like, dude, you've lost your mind. Are you crazy? That's your plan? Your plan is a stick and a lantern and a shout? That's your plan? Makes no sense. They had to overcome their fear. If they would not overcome that fear, they would not have victory. If they would not overcome that fear of the water, they would not pass into the promise. They had to overcome that fear. Israel was at a total stop in a stagnant state until David stepped up and confronted his fear. If you don't think you're going to have to confront your fear, you don't know Jesus. Fear is a prison. It is a prison. Worry leads to fear, and fear leads to paralysis. What are you worried about? What are you worried about? Why do you fear? God is so against fear. It's the enemy of faith. You got to understand this. You have to do it. Say with me, do it afraid. Do it afraid. You're going to be afraid to the utmost. Look at Moses trying to go to talk to Pharaoh. He's freaking out, making every excuse in the book. Oh, I can't talk. Oh, every excuse. Every excuse. The Lord's like, who made your mouth? You don't think I'll talk to you? You don't think you underestimate who I am. You underestimate who you are to me. It's always in the relationship, you see? Always in the relationship. The problems come when the relationship is separated. But the victory comes when the relationship is maintained and integrated. Always the problem is when we're off on our own and we're doing it our way and there's no integration within the relationship. Moses overcame through the integration of the relationship. I'm with you. He told the same thing to Joshua. I'm with you. It's in the relationship. Therefore, you must build the relationship, the intimacy, the communion. My wife and I were talking about this class, and she was asking me just some thoughts on it. She's going to do an amazing job, I'm sure. And I just told her, for me, it's always in the communion. This is what I have learned over all of the years. There's basic ways of hearing God, but the deeper ways are when you develop the communal relationship with Him and you can hear Him clearly. And that's another story for another day. We have to develop in these things. There's going to be opposition. You're going to be outside. The opposition is going to be outside and inside. You know, Peter got out of the boat. All the other 11 stayed in the boat. Well, say, oh, Peter doubted. Peter doubted. Did he? Did he? I would say the other 11 are the ones who doubted. I don't think Peter doubted. And that whole translation of, oh, you of little faith, it means little faith. Good job, little faith. Look what you can do with little faith. It's an exhortation. It's not a condemnation. It's an exhortation. It's not a rebuke. Little faith. Why'd you doubt? Look how good you were doing, little faith. Why'd you give up? The other ones were no faith. I wish he would have talked to the other 11. I wish he would have went, no faith, staying in the boat, needs to learn from little faith. Little faith walked on the water. No faith stayed in the boat. Which one are you? I was afraid. Why aren't we all? Welcome to the planet. We have to develop our ability with the Holy Spirit. So here's the deal. God sends you into these circumstances, sends you into these 6 situations. If you want anything from the Lord, you better be prepared to be disoriented. You're going to learn a 4-letter word. You're going to learn the word help, and you're going to learn this phrase, Lord, where are you? Lord, where are you? And you know when you're in that place, God's moving with you, or you're moving in a path with Him. You're moving. Everybody never ever know. It's like we're almost like Buddhists, or like I meet Christians all the time and they don't want to lose their chi, man. I don't want to lose my chi. Anything that violates my peace, I don't want to lose anything that violates my peace. You know who they are? They're do-nothings. They're do-nothings. We're not Buddhists or anything. We don't sit in this lotus position in this divine state of serenity. We're called to advance a kingdom. We're called to move with the King. And that oftentimes creates a lot of difficulty. And that creates disorientation. We don't know where He is. We don't even know where we're going. I don't know. We go back, we ask the Lord, is this what you want? This is what I want. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I put myself in this position all the time. Just this week, I'm waking up and I'm freaking out. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I'm trying to do this thing that I believe God told me to do. And I'm like, Lord, what am I doing? What am I doing? And He's like, don't be afraid, Kevin. Do what I told you. And that's all I need. And then I have confidence. But I don't have confidence in myself. But when I hear Him say, don't be afraid, Kevin, do what I told you, then it's like, forget it. I know I'm going to win, right? I know it's inevitable. I know that any of my shortcomings mean nothing because God has told me this is what He wants. And I'm in center, and I'm on point. This is the development that we have to come to. This is living faith. This isn't religious Christianity. This isn't Sunday going to meeting Christianity. This isn't come and go Christianity. This is living kingdom. Living kingdom. So what we're called to is a living kingdom. I asked the Lord the other day, I was talking to Him. This is going to bless you, I hope. And I asked the Lord, I said, what are we to you? What is Elevate to you? I said, are we eagles? Are we eagles? He's like, yeah, you're eagles. You're eagles. The reason I was asking him about eagles is because eagles can hunt wolves. You're like, what? Eagles can hunt wolves? Of course they can. Eagles can hunt wolves. So I'm like, are we eagles? What are we? And He said, you are my pride of lions, and you are my tribe of warriors. I got any lions in the room? Are there any lions in the room? Are there any warriors? Are there any men of valor and shield maidens for Jesus in this room? Come on. So you know what that means? I have confidence because it's how He sees us. You are lions, Kevin. You're not candy cane and gumball Christians. You're lions. There's candy cane and gumball Christians all over the world. Who cares? They're irrelevant to the purposes that I've set before you. This is what I want. I want lions. I want warriors. I'm not interested in candy cane and gumball. I'm interested in warriors and lions. I'm interested in a victorious people that know how to overcome. I'm interested in a victorious people who have one determination, one thing, and they set their hearts towards that thing. The kingdom come.